This is not political season. This is not campaign time. We are not having a rally. This is just me, the senator representing Kogi Central, coming down to have people to celebrate this festive time, the Salah, with you. And there is nothing wrong in that. I am breaking no law. This is Nigeria. We have the right to be free, to express our choice in gatherings and celebrations.
You know it's JEJE vibe, JEJE vibe, JEJE vibe.
JEJE.
Can you catch a vibe, catch a vibe, catch a vibe?
I'm feeling it.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Welcome to JEJE Vibe.
We're back.
Got the amazing queen with me.
Thanks, my love. We're matching.
Hey, swagoo.
Look at this one feeling himself.
Just stop.
Man, get me the information.
Man.
It started on the 8th of December 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akpabio because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akpabio. And at first, we were at Ikot-Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot-Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just 3 of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. Like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it."
In this day and age, I guess we're beginning to see what's happening in politics.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate president too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate president now said, "Oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel." He has a chapel in his house as well. So when we were going to the chapel, you know, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate president's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot-Ekpene. And my husband asked me, "Natasha, what did the Senate president whisper to you? What's he telling you?" I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, wrap it as if there was nothing? Because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate president. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I lay to my right and my husband wrapped his arms around me and he said, "My love, you know you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate president tell you?" Again, I was like, "Don't you believe me?" I said, "Nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy." Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate president's house because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, you know, after office to like get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end.
The Nigerian politics
And their shenanigans.
We got to talk about it.
Hey, and their level of reasoning now.
Like,
But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajakuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the order paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it. Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before my motion is taken, the time will be well spent and won't. So he kept on doing that.
Shout out to women. Shout out to all the beautiful queens.
Hey, women are very important in this society.
Very important. And they should have a voice.
Hey, we populate the population. Hey.
We say it's easy.
I went to him in his office. And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajakuta Sale Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed the 3rd time and stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy.
So, in JEJE Vibe, we're always giving out our respect to those beautiful women out there in governments.
Standing for women's rights now.
At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court. I left his office, and when I got home, I told my husband, I didn't tell my husband what happened. I just told my husband, please, can you speak to the Senate President to allow my motion scale through? I think I also spoke to the DSP, to the leader, Senator Payme. I spoke to a number of senators that they should please intervene and allow him to laugh. I never told them what happened. My husband had to take a trip to London. Then the Senate President traveled to London. My husband met with the Senate President in London and pleaded with him, let my wife take this motion on Ajakuta. That is very important to her.
Okay. All right, Senator Natasha.
Said, okay, that he did not take it because he was protecting me. Hold on, please. He didn't take it because he was protecting me. Protecting me from what? Anyway, at the time my demotion was taken, it was the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Barao, that actually sat. The Senate President stood up and walked out. So it was Senator Barao that actually took it.
All right, Senator Natasha.
And from there,
Natasha.
many other incidents happened.
Yeah.
And Senator Natasha is the topic that we're discussing today.
Bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was elected into Nigeria's 10th National Assembly in 2023 to represent Kogi Central Senatorial District. Less than 2 years later she's in the eye of the storm. Tensions began on Thursday, February 20th, when her seat was changed. The reshuffling was a result of opposition People's Democratic Party Senator Ned Nwoko's defection to the All Progressives Congress. He was moved to the ruling aisle. Refusing her new placement, what followed suit drew national attention.
Because it came out on our radar that she went to UN. She had to go to UN.
Hey, before then, I actually saw their altercation too in the house.
Crazy back and forth.
Yep. how disrespectful he was.
Crazy.
Order, please.
Dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time
can the
to
Sergeant
speak
at Arms
upon a matter of
please
privilege suddenly
take her out of the
arising,
Senate.
and he shall be prepared to move without
Okay.
notice.
Okay.
A motion declaring that the contempt of breach of
Show me
privilege
the
has
session
been
that allows suspension immediately.
A day after the face-off, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan told Abuja-based Human Rights Radio that the new seat was in a corner where cameras will not capture legislative activities, alleging an attempt to silence her.
So the Senate President or the Speaker
His
Okay.
condescending tone.
of the House, which is like the more like the same when it comes to the United States, but it's like the
Hey,
third,
they all practice democracy.
yeah,
So
like the third person in power.
While I am aware that the matters are in court, however, I would like to state clearly that at no time did I ever attempt any sexual harassment on the said distinguished Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan or any other woman for that matter.
And Senator Natasha House is accusing him of assault.
On March 5th, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan returns to the Senate with damning allegations.
Presented to the Senate by a senator who shall affix his or her name at the beginning thereof. The petition is in my name against the President of the Nigerian Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuse of office, and malicious obstruction of my legislative functions. You may recall, sir, that on Friday in Arise TV, I did make some statements. And I have decided to narrow these statements in a formal petition against the President of this Senate. So if it may please you, I would humbly step forward and lay this petition. Thank you.
You may proceed.
This is in court now.
Distinguished colleagues, this petition is hereby referred to the Committee on Code of Conduct, Ethics and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate as soon as practicable.
But her petition was not taken on procedural grounds.
Brought it out, and she's talked about it.
yeah, she brought it to the UN.
I come with a heavy heart from Nigeria, but first I'd like to apologize to Honorable Katila Obara. I am not here to bring shame to our country. I'm here to seek help for the women of Nigeria. Again, my name is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. 5 days ago, on the 6th of March 2025, I was suspended. As a senator, I was suspended illegally because I submitted a petition of sexual harassment against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. I thought that by submitting the petition, he would recuse himself, and both of us will submit ourselves to the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition for a fair and transparent investigation. But unfortunately, I was silenced and I was suspended.
She has been harassed at work several times, and now she's talking about it. She was now suspended for 6 months.
I was suspended for 6 months, amongst many other stringent conditions, such as taking away my security, taking away all the officials, vehicles, and other items that were handed over to me as a senator. My salaries will be cut off. I must not appear anywhere near the National Assembly
Imagine coming out for a complaint. Imagine coming out to say this happened to you and you're being suspended.
Crazy. Niger shenanigans. Niger things.
This is crazy time.
Crazy.
Order 40, Rule 7 says Senate should not receive or deliberate on any matter to which actions are pending in any court of law. Senate should not receive or deliberate on any matter to which actions are pending in any court of law. Before I rule, I would like to hear the opinion of Senator Natasha Uduaghan regarding the rules.
What's happening in Nigeria?
Hey, it shows the level of reasoning of this so-called, I want to say, some of these politicians, the older politicians. They feel like they have no boundaries when it comes to some women.
Thank you very much, Senate President. Again, I'm Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing the good and virtuous people of Kogi Central. I beg to differ that this matter is sub judice. And I stand on privilege 10, order 10, which is on privileges.
Sorry.
No, dear Senate President, please, with due respect, do you mind? I have raised an order 10, privileges, sir, please. It's my right, Senate President. Order 10 on privileges, please. I believe, and please, would you stop turning off my microphone? I represent people, and I represent women who have been silenced. So permit me to speak without my microphone being silenced, dear sir, President of the Nigerian Senate.
This is a married woman. Married. And you're a married man. Yeah. Whatever, still allegations, but it's looking like there could be something there.
Order 10 on privileges.
Coincidentally, I'm hearing you.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he or she shall be prepared to move without notice a motion declaring that the contempt or breach of privilege has been committed. I stand and I believe herefore, sir, that your denial, your refusal to accept and treat my petition before the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Abuse of my privileges, and I say forth, that this matter is not subject, it is not before the court. The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on new media, Mr. Patrick Umfom, who addressed my decent outfits as transparent, thereby depicting that I walk sedulously and naked to the chambers. That is the nature of the petition, of the case in court. This petition, sir, has never been filed. The petition that alleges, or should I say, accuses you of making sexual harassment moves, abusing your office, and making malicious obstructions to my legislative functions has not been tendered anywhere before, no court in Nigeria. So, sir, I would appreciate if you kindly accept my petition and forward same to the Ethics and Privileges Committee so it could be treated. Thank you, sir.
Hey, if not, why would you just want to just speak to someone in a condescending matter that brought, hey, something to the house?
Yes.
They said that I had no right to sign the petition myself. I am not supposed to sign my petition because a senator is receiving petitions from her or his constituents. But here, first time in the history of Nigeria, a senator is laying a sexual harassment petition seeking justice.
Proceed to lay the petition.
A day after, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan resubmits the petition, and this time around, it was admitted. The Senate Committee on Ethics now has two separate petitions involving the senator to deal with. Days before the hearing, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan had gone to court to stop the Ethics Committee from deliberating the case. The court initially granted an order in her favor, but later vacated the ruling. Senate President Godswill Akpabio's wife, Akpabio, had also gone to court suing Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan for defamation. The committee sat on the matter again on March 25th, but it ended in a deadlock as Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's team accused Senator Imasuen of bias. From here, the Senate ruled that Natasha Akpoti must step aside for 6 months. But is this about silencing the lawmaker, or indeed about discipline? The battle is already playing out beyond the four walls of this chamber.
And it was encouraging to see her, even while she was suspended from the House Assembly, to see her out there still fighting for herself.
And for 6 months, I'm not to introduce myself or present myself as a senator locally in Nigeria or internationally. That means I'm here illegally, but I had no other place to go but to come here and speak to you women, because this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. It depicts the crisis of women political representation. My suspension is not just about me. It's about the systemic exclusion of women from political leadership in Nigeria.
Because so many, this shit happens to so many women and they don't talk about it.
Yep.
Just keep quiet.
Prayer 1.
Dear Senate President, may I be given a chance to speak?
Prayer 1.
Yes.
That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months for a total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023.
But she's coming against the grain and they're making it hard for her.
The period of her suspension, she be barred from representing herself to the public locally and internationally as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those who support prayer 7 say aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank my colleagues.
This injustice will not be sustained. The pursuit for justice.
There was a flyer flying around from Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan indicating that there will be a program or an event to that effect. It's called the Homecoming. Well, this homecoming has turned out to be another furore in the all political issues relating to Kogi Central Senator and the politics of Nigeria.
In everything we do, we put God first. And we communicate our needs to God through prayers. But then we also have human beings. And God walks his ways through people. My husband is one of them. If not because of the resources, his words of encouragement every day, even while we were coming here today, he kept on telling me, believe in your cause, stand strong, it is well. Like I said, I'm just a simply Ihima girl, simple, poor Ibira girl. You all know, I grew up here. Where would I have gotten the resources to hire a helicopter to bring me in today, if not because of my husband? I think God is at work here. God, when he wants to make a purpose, he brings people with resources to you. Yesterday, when we read on the news that rallies, guard states will not be allowed. I knew that we were the target. But then I said, this is not political season. This is not campaign time. We are not having a rally. This is just me, the senator representing Kogi Central, coming down to have people to celebrate this festive time, the Salah, with you. And there is nothing wrong in that. I am breaking no law. This is Nigeria. We have the right to be free, to express our choice in gatherings and celebrations.
Now, the government of Kogi State is saying that there is something wrong about what she did. She's flouted. She's breached the law.
So, in JEJE Vibe, we're always giving out our respect to those beautiful women. So, we'll see how it all plays out. We don't condone any such behaviors. So we'll see how this whole drama plays out. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.
What are you now?
See you next one.
It's JEJE Vibe. Oh, JEJE.
No, it's JEJE Vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
You're filthy vibe.
I'm feeling it.
It's JEJE Vibe. JEJE Vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
Filthy vibe.
It started in the year 2023 on the 8th of December. We were at his country home. He was taking me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, held my hand. And then we got to this particular room where when he noticed my husband was a few steps away, he then squeezed my hands in a very suggestive way. We're women, we know what it means when a man squeezes his hands, squeezes our hands in a suggestive way. And he went, I'll make an opportunity for us to come here and have a good moment, along that line. And then I just took my hands off and I looked back. I saw my husband was near us. My husband looked at me as if he heard some part of that, but he wasn't so sure. So he looked at him as well. And then the Senate president, of course, sensing the awkward moment, now said, oh, there's a chapel over there as well. Let's go, let me show you the chapel. He had a chapel in his house. So we went there. So my husband asked me a few moments afterwards, what did he tell you? And I didn't want to cause any friction because we were very good friends. My husband respected him a whole lot. So I said, you know what, Natasha, hold this up, resist it. It's going to be fine. You can manage it. What I thought I was going to manage just didn't seem so. Episode after episode, moments after moment.
So it was multiple times?
Yeah, it was multiple times.
Prayer one.
Dear Senate President, may I be given a chance to speak?
Prayer one.
Yes.
That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months for a total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended for bringing the presiding officer and the entire Nigerian Senate in general to a public opprobrium. Those in support of prayer one say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. I'd put the question. Those in support of prayer one say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. How do you amend a prayer that is unanimous? Prayer two, that for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of the suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration by the Nigerian Senate. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. I don't think, Senator Baribe, as a landlord of the Senate, I don't think they heard what I read. So let me just repeat for clarity that for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of the suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before the reconsideration by the Senate. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. Okay, because I thought I heard 50-50. Let me make it 40-60. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration of this case by the Senate. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, liberalism. Prayer 3, that the Senate do suspend Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan with effect from 6th day of March 2025 from all legislative activities forward. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4, that her office be locked up for the duration of this suspension, and she should hand over all Senate properties in her possession to the clerk of the National Assembly. Those in support of prayer 4 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 5, that for the duration of her suspension, she cannot come or be seen within the vicinity of the National Assembly, including her staff. But this is normal. Those in support of prayer 5 say aye. Those against say nay. Again, the ayes have it. Prayer 6, that our salaries and allowances, including those of our legislative aides, be suspended and withdrawal of all security details for the duration of our suspension. Yes, Senator Ojo Sakalo.
Our aides have families. Most of them have come from villages, from towns to live in Abuja. It will be wrong to punish aides that have not committed any offense. Their aides will receive their allowances. No. Dandu said, you have to agree with this. The aides of Natasha is not Natasha. It will be wrong for this Senate to deprive those aides not collecting their allowances. They are workers. They don't have any other farm to go to, Mr. President. Because these aides are workers of Senator Natasha. So I'm moving for amendment of that section that the aides will receive their allowances. Mr. President, I plead with you that these people might be having family in Abuja. They don't go to any farm. They don't have any other way of feeding. And I think that this Senate, my colleagues, you must allow the workers of Natasha to have their allowances. I so move, Mr. President.
Any second, the Senator Nedwoko, you have not spoken. Nedwoko has not spoken. Senator Nedwoko.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Nedwoko. I represent the good people of Delta North, Delta State. Mr. President, I do stand to second the amendment as proposed by Senator Oji Ozokalo. It's only fair that we allow the workers, even if they don't come to within the premises of the National Assembly, to receive their allowances. I so support.
Prayer 6 says that our salaries and allowances, including those of our legislative aides, be suspended. And the distinguished Senator Oju Sakalo has proposed that the salaries and allowances of the aides be spared. Even if they do, and like he said, he further amended it to say, even if they are not allowed to come within the vicinity of the National Assembly because they are here only at our instance, but that their salaries should be spared. Those who are in support of the amendment, that the salaries of the aides be spared, say aye. And those who feel that their salaries should also be withheld by the Clerk of National Assembly, say nay. The ayes have it. For that's a matter. Okay.
Distinguished colleagues, my name is Ahmed Lawan. I represent here North. Mr. President, the later part of number 6 talks of withdrawal of all security details for the duration of our suspension. Mr. President, I want to believe that we still feel we are one, and any injury to any of us should be injury to all. I believe withdrawal of security aids at this moment from a senator is not the best way to go. And we should not really create a precedence where the moment something happens with a member of the National Assembly, the security agencies will say withdraw the security aids. Because this could be a problem to us later. So I just want us to reflect on this. Thank you.
If your security is given to you as a leverage to your being a senator, then there will be no need for them to hang around with you when you are no longer a senator. In other words, if you are no longer a president of the Senate, you cannot continue to sit in the car of the president of the Senate. I was with you in the villa the day you declared support for me, and I saw you off as a sign of respect as the outgoing Senate president. When we got to the vehicle, you just pointed out and said, this will be withdrawn from me tomorrow. I will come to your house after you win. so if you are telling me that, assuming I had failed that day, would that vehicle come to my house?
Well, Mr. Senate President, I don't want it to be like I'm trying to make a case, but I believe that this is a suspended senator, not someone who ceases to be a senator. It's suspension.
But without arguing with
that's
you,
my case. Yes.
Without arguing with you, let me remind you: you are a landlord in the Senate or in the National Assembly. Do you remember a senator that was called Oton Zeribe? A distinguished senator who was one of the richest people in southeastern Nigeria. And when he entered into the Senate, he carried along on his shoulders his wealth. May his soul rest in peace. When he was suspended, the Senate took steps to withdraw all his security. And when he refused to apologize to the Senate, he stayed out of the Senate for over 2.5 years until the end of that tenure. We are starting a journey now. And the journey depends on your attitude. Prayer 7, that for the period of her suspension, she be barred from representing herself to the public locally and internationally as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those in support of prayer 7 say aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank my colleagues.
This injustice will not be sustained. The pursuit for justice